Oh, this thing's gonna torque me off. Hello. For some reason, my phone won't let me record except for in this manner, which is kind of frustrating. And I've tried to fix it twice. And I'm not fighting with my own phone. It's a pain in my rumpus. Okay. Give me a second, I'll start talking. Hello, Renee. Come on. Yeah, of course, it's got to show a commercial. But how, yes, I tried to, hello, anime. I tried to have it do vertical, but it wanted, or not vertical, horizontal, and it wanted to do vertical. And somehow my screen was in lock mode, so I was like, oh great, do I have to, I don't want to start this all over for the third time, trying to figure out what the heck's wrong. But I got it working, that's all I care about. Feels like it's gonna be a tea night. Hello, Michelle. Whoa, sorry, trying to adjust myself and my camera and all my gear. Brett, yeah. I'm sorry. I guess it's Brittany. I'm probably saying it wrong. I'm always saying your name wrong for some reason. But, boy, it's been an interesting week. I mean, between Sunday's live, my Tuesday live, and today was another medical appointment. I'm waiting for the results. It was, it's Brenda, I'm sorry. Jerry just yelled it. Today's test was basically, it was to test the pressure on my arm and legs and toe to see, and using, I don't know what they call this scope, but it's basically the same thing they use to check on a baby's heartbeat. They were testing my heart rate, pressure or no pressure. Sounded normal, but I don't know exactly what their results are. Hello, Eclipse. But oops. Oh. How do I put this? The Sunday Night Live, after I asked Jerry, demanded from Jerry to end her live with Mona and her group of people. It's because the fact that the stress was getting to me, where I felt like my chest was starting to compress, and I was like, no, I'm not having a heart attack because of these full-hearted women. But I didn't have to write names, because I recognize names like, well, top one right here is Renee W. Now, I don't even know why, after watching that video, I even let you stay here, because you were very backstabbing and two-sided, and I hate people like that. I've had too many of those kind of people before to use me like a doormat and then stab me in the back. So you might want to decide what side of the fence you're going to be on, because if you're going to come to my channel and ask questions and be nice, but then go over to Diane's channel, which I know is the ringleader of all you ladies, except for maybe Mona and maybe House of Joan, because I realized after watching a couple of House of Jones videos, she's more interested in trying to go a different direction with hauls and decorations, DIYs, which is awesome. I watched some of her cooking videos, and I think her videos are great. But I'm not going to let people come in here and troll me for whatever reasons and then go running off to Diane to basically flip the coin and be a snooty little brat who wants to just be part of the lie machine, the hate machine, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to have that. So let it be known, if you're going to come on here and chat with me, you better not be trying to, get nicey nice with me so you can run over to some hate group and spew whatever you want to spew. It's no. You're not worth my headache. You're not worth the stress. It's one thing. I've got a couple people that go over and watch, Diane's channels and whatnot, and come to me and tell me who's basically backstabbing me or the gist of what's going on. And not that I don't want them to stop because it's their choice, but I really don't care. I'm done with their drama. I'm done with their BS. I'm done with their lies. I basically also got a piece of information showing me that Diane was using not so public records because they're basically chats or whatnot from our messenger system or basically our phones. And I don't give a rat's ass what the law is, but that's just low. And, that just shows how much of a chicken shit she really is. Hell, it's Friday night, but if my people want to give me names and whatnot, I'll be more than happy to block you because, like I said, I'm not gonna have backstabbers. I'm not gonna have people who are gonna sit in my channel, try to be nice and nice with their comments and their words, and then run off to a hate channel and basically throw me under the bus. No, ain't gonna do that. I'm done with Diane's gaslighting. I'm done with Diane's narcissism. And I'm just done with it. But that off my chest, and we're just going to continue. Excuse me. My cough at night is getting worse, and I know it's seasonal bronchitis. But I've been having sinus issues as well, and I know one of the things that I'm allergic to still is grass pollen, which I'm surprised that's the only thing I'm allergic to, because when we found out that I had allergies back in Arizona after my dad retired from the military, it was basically anything that pollinated was going to cause my sinuses to go bonkers. But now it's just grass clippings, grass pollen, anything that has to do with grass. And I'm like, great. But the funny thing is that short period of time, that I can't remember how long we were up in Colorado, but that short period of time in spring, springtime before the heat came, I had no problems whatsoever. No allergy problems, no bronchial, no seasonal health issues that I normally have. And I'm like, this is why I want to move to Colorado, or this is why I want to move out into the mountains, because it's up higher than the pollens and all the crud, because that goes down. That's why Phoenix, Arizona, if you didn't have allergies before you went to Phoenix, and then you ended up having allergies because of Arizona, because of the Phoenix area. Well, there's two reasons why. The Valley of the Sun, or Phoenix, is kind of sunken. It's a little bit lower than average, but you get all the dust and crud and whatnot that filters through the Grand Canyon and straight down into Phoenix from places like California, um, mostly California. And I mean, I have nothing wrong with Californians, even though as a like areas like L.A. and San Diego, the big cities, basically, I'm not a fan of. Now, I've been to Los Angeles and San Diego with family, and I had I don't know if they're still living out there, but I had family living in, I think, San Diego, or either San Diego. No, I had cousins in San Diego, and I had an aunt or another cousin in Los Angeles. Um, well, Joyce, right now, doctors are saying I won't be able to work because of health issues of one form or another. Um, so your comment is appreciated but not necessary, um, for a lot of different reasons. But the biggest reason why is you guys don't know my health conditions and why I can't do certain things. So you just flat out outright telling me to go get a job when you don't know my health conditions or what my doctors have said makes your comment just moot. Are you talking about Colorado starry night? That it was nice and quiet. Um, Even though we were in, um, I want to say Colorado City, but that's not right. Um, I'd have to look at my map, but we were in southern central Colorado, and even the city that we were in, and I wish I could remember it, was a beautiful, beautiful city. You know, what? Pueblo. We were in Pueblo, Colorado, and it was a nice town. It was really, I mean, artsy and just a lot of fun things to look at, but we didn't have time to go look at all the fun things. We were there for a purpose, which was trying to find a home in Colorado. Unfortunately, after coming home and seeing how the home prices were starting to go up, we opted out for Colorado, even though I still want to go back. Um, oh, okay. Um, the thing is, right now, because mom's mom's looking at places for herself. I'm searching for places just in case Jerry Ann and I can't afford to stay here. Right now, the way things are looking, we would have a hard time staying here. Um, so it's one of those like, what are we doing? And my thing is I don't want to move too far from mom, but I also got to think about Jerry Ann and her situation with her medical issues of either Duke, which is in North Carolina. It's inland, so we won't have as much like straight on hurricane effects. We'll have the high winds and rains, but we won't have the full punch, let's say. Then we were talking about possibly upstate New York or just up past the cities and whatnot. So it's kind of like one of those things where it's like if if we can find a place in upstate New York um, or the Carolinas that mom might want to move to, she can move into her own place. But it's just one of those like if we have to stay here in Missouri, which I really don't want to stay here in Missouri if I can't stay in this house. Um, it's just like okay, well, what are we gonna do? So we're still like trying to get our information lined up so we know what's going on with mom, so we can decide what to do, that kind of thing. Hello, Marguerite. Thank you for being here. Um, ow, sorry. My head is itchy today, and I don't know if it's because of the dryness, because of I was outside. I had to do some running around, and it was nice and sunny, but it wasn't humid, so it was a little on the dry side. Which I never like dry. I mean, I don't like high humidity, but I don't like Arizona dryness or New Mexico dryness. I mean, that's why I was like, you know, that's why when Diane and I were talking about ourselves and where we would stay, and I was like, well, I want to stay near mom, but I don't want to have to move out of this house. So we were thinking about different ideas of what we can do for supplementary income, like renting out a room or two to a room. We've got at least 2 rooms that are quote unquote bedrooms. So it's kind of like, well, I'm gonna do, So there's a lot of ideas up in the air. Let's see here. Okay, it's Friday night. Sorry, I'm bouncing backwards. I don't know if Jerry, I think, is listening in because of her eyes. Her eyes can be weird. Oh God. Okay, let me. Hello, Bluegrass. Donnie Rowe. If you either can work, can't you get some kind of? We're working on that. That's the thing. We're working on disability. We got to get some medical paperwork and whatnot. I have an appointment with. Well, it's not really your business, but I'm just going to say it. I do have an appointment to talk to somebody at Social Security because I have so many different medical issues, and all of them, according to the Social Security website, are something that would cause the Social Security to give me benefits. Because one, I'm not exactly a stable type person, so working in the general public nowadays, it's either I have to be sitting down to do it, or something like that. But let's see here. Let's see here. I'm just curious, why is it so important for Sally to move now when you guys are not in any position to move financially, health-wise? Well, for mom, she's explained to me, is between the dog and its barking when she sees somebody. So it's a lot of stressors on mom, and she just feels like she needs to be by herself, which it's kind of like I can understand the dog barking and scratching up the Arcadia door. We just started yesterday, I think it was. We just started to put on, get her to go to the front yard. I have the chain set up so she can go to the front yard and not scratch, not cause a lot of commotion. I need to get some sort of barricade here, so the dog can't go and look out the Arcadia door and bark at the neighbors who love Oreo, and they're very friendly people. So that's another reason why I don't want to leave. It's like, finally I get friendly neighbors. I can, I've already met, talked with them, and the husband is basically I guess the only way to put it is a clergyman for the army. So he's he works with the army as a spiritual guide, I guess the best way to put it. And he's a good man, and I like them. They're good people. Raymond is doing really good. More chemo end of month, hoping he will soon be done with chemo. Yeah, I feel for you, because Brenda, because Jerry Ann going through chemo and having a lot of issues. Hopefully he has no other issues than just doing the chemo. But I'm pretty sure he'll be like sleepy and whatnot. Um, so I mean, I'm glad I met them. He actually gave me a flyer. They're having something towards the end of the month at the church that I guess he leads or is a part of. I don't. I think he said he leads that church, and it's called the Life Church. So I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I want to go check it out when they have this big old open party, this open street fair type thing. So I would love to have things ready for Jerry to do Christmas crafting. That's like right around the corner. But between her issues with sitting up and her, you got to find a nice cushion for her tush because if she sits too long, it starts to hurt. And that and her fingers and hands are not as capable as doing what she should or she wants to do, I should say. Um, yeah, mental issues. I basically qualify because of bipolarism, which is part of depression, and the anxiety issues, the ADHD, the ADD, um, manic depression that has led on multiple cases to suicidal tendencies. Um, that's just that's just the tip of the iceberg. Um, I'm starting to have memory issues and just like plain old brain issues. Um, but yeah, and then there's the physical issues, type 2 diabetic, having issues with stress, which is basically a silent killer. And I don't need to be stressed out by being at a job that stresses me out and having to deal with customers that I just want to be like, back, get out, but that's part of my issues. Um, yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I don't blame mom for wanting to be away or alone, um, in a facility that will basically monitor her health. And some places they have what they call an open kitchen, which is basically there's somebody there to cook for you. But some of the some they're a little bit more expensive than the average. Some places have like your own apartment or bungalow where you can cook yourself. You don't have to eat what they're eating. But I'm glad they're watching his blood count because sometimes the medication for any kind of cancer can be problematic. Um, but like right now, I don't have cancer. My wife does. She's on all kinds of medications, but now I'm on all kinds of new medications. I have a high blood pressure medication. I have medication for my high triglycerides. I have a prescription grade fish oil, um, and I think that's for my triglycerides. So I'm taking a variety of medication that if the SSI people or Social Security people looked at it would go, yeah, dude, you do not need to be out in public, let alone being stressed. So yeah, dumb bug. Um, but hello, Redhead Storm. Um, That is so funny. I mean, those women are so in love with themselves, and um, anybody they don't agree with, they're gonna make fun of, like calling you a troll and a girly boy. I don't see where they can even say that when they don't even know you. I mean, that's what gets me is they're trying to make something up about people that, excuse me, you don't know. Like I said on Tuesday, you don't know me from a hole in the wall. You see maybe 1.5 hours worth of me talking, but there's 24 to 23 hours in the day that I'm not on camera. And there's even whole days I'm not even on camera. And they're trying to speculate and make bullshit up. But I got a message earlier from somebody, and I'm not going to say who it is, that was telling me that showed me, not telling me, showed me that Diane was making stuff up, and then Diane had transcripts of a message between her and a friend, or her and a couple people, like phone calls from New York that she didn't answer, stuff like that. And I'm like, that's not open to the public. You have to have a special permit to look at people's records from their phone. And that's just like how that, that just, it's just one of the many things that I don't know if it's illegal or not, but first I'm concerned it's wrong. And it should be illegal for a private person to look at somebody else's text messages or phone call records or anything like that. So it's like, no. So I'm just like, I'm hoping, since I reported her and wrote out my report instead of just clicking buttons, I got to write out my report. I basically said to YouTube, this person is a liar. She's making up stuff, false information. She's getting into private records such as the phone records to see who my wife is getting phone calls from. And I'm just like, no, 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 and not right. Should be considered illegal unless she has some sort of like federal warrant or something like that to see my wife's phone information. But she's also going online on Facebook telling her family how terrible she is as a person. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I've already got three family members, I think, from Jerry's side of the family that's like, where does she live? How close can you get information to where she is? We'll go up there and fix her. And knowing my two of my sister-in-laws, yeah, they would have no problems. Besides, I mean, what is prison? 3 square meals a day, you know, and at our age. But anyhow, enough with that banter. Yeah, I'm supposed to be on there. Well, I'm gonna actually try to get off here in a few minutes because we normally start somewhere in between 8:30 and 9. But yeah, I know I should be taking the high road. My wife is constantly telling me that. Um, well, if it is, well, from what I saw from Diane's live, or not live, but one of Diane's videos, yeah, she blocked out a bunch of the numbers, but she was like, putting all these different people on there and blocking out some other people, like redacting private information. And I'm like, I don't care if it's private or not. You got information somehow from Jerry Ann's phone that you should not be able to get, let alone have. But, eh. Yeah, they got into Jerry's phone. Diane showed information on her channel, and I went, mm-mm, done, report, major report. So I literally reported, I wrote out a report about it. But I do. I am actually taking it. Well, it's part of my morning regimen of medications, and it does really help with stress. Um, yeah, Brenda, you saw that. Yeah, anybody who was on her channel saw that, and only the people who don't like us would admit to it. But you're admitting to it. I know you like us, so yeah. No, I didn't understand it either. I was like, how? First off, how did she get the records? How did she get that information that was only supposed to be only Ann's phone? Because we hacked with T-Mobile that our information is kept private. It cannot go on the internet. It cannot be looked at unless it's by warrant or federal request. So, how she's getting into seeing our records is somebody dropped the ball at T-Mobile, or or she has a friend that is a hacker. But anyhow, so I'm just like, oh, ouch. Oh man, to have any kind of cancer sucks. All right, no problem. I'll put your aunt in my prayer. No, Jerry would not show her phone log, especially that particular phone log or any phone log to anybody. She might show a message from somebody or proof of medical or something like that, but she would not put her phone log out. So, no. But anyhow, got a few more minutes, so if you guys have any questions, go ahead and shoot them my way. I'll see if I can answer them. But Peggy, Jerry would not show, phone logs or how many calls she gets from New York or wherever. That is none of anybody's business. Well, I don't care if they're your personal phone logs, but I'm sure that because they work the way Diane works. Basically, she's all about hatred and causing all kinds of problems with our family. And I'm done. I'm just done with that kind of stuff. I really am. I mean, if you want to show your own phone log, that's fine and dandy. But showing somebody else's phone log, and it did say Jerry Ann Henson at the top. No, no. I believe that is basically, basically what all Diane and her cronies are doing is they're committing an act of sin, which is basically gossiping, and that and hatred. Those are two major of the seven deadly sins, and well, I can't say who's going to pay what or what's going to happen to her or anything like that, but we all have to answer to the big guy upstairs. And if if we lived a life like Diane showing that she's living right now, I I have no clue what could happen. I mean, I can't say I'm a saint. I'm not pure-hearted. I've had plenty of my own sins and whatnot, and you know, skeletons in my closet. But I've cleaned out my closet. I've tried to do my best to get rid of my, to amend for my sins. Um, I don't know if that's the right word or not, but um, I've learned. If it put it this way, if it wasn't for Jerry, um, I am pretty sure there's a lot of things that I would still be doing that's wrong. Um, my health, especially, it would have tanked. I would not have been able to pass any of the tests that I had in the last 3 or 4 days. So I know that I mean, if it wasn't for her, I probably would be, living with mom still, um, not knowing what my issues were, my psychological or physiological issues. I probably would have died back in my 40s like my dad did. Um, and these are just speculations on what could have happened if Jerry didn't come into my life. And I don't care if people think that she's gaslighting me or throwing me under the bus or anything like that. I don't feel that way. All I feel from her is pure love. Same with me. All I give her is every ounce of my love. And you guys want to think that I am being basically a rug or a mat or whatever and running around doing what she demands of me. No, no, no. Because if I feel that she's demanding too much or being too snide, I'll be like, no, Jerry, just gonna have to wait. No, Jerry Ann was not my first girlfriend. I did have a girlfriend in Arizona. Actually, I had like 2 or 3 girlfriends in Arizona, not at the same time. I had a girl in high school that I well, basically fell head over heels for, but one thing or another, we went our different directions. Um, and then there was another girl. Um, well, there was another girl that I met that I was in love with, but I found out that it was one-sided, and I realized how much or what I learned a lot about what women can do to a man to make them feel good, but in the long run, they're not, and Jerry does not do that to me. And then the third girlfriend was the first time I went to Yellowstone National Park, and this is before I even met Jerry or knew Jerry. There was a girl I was dating while we were in Yellowstone. Um, Unfortunately, Yellowstone for me the first time around did not last very long because I, I could tell through phone calls that mom was not doing so good, and I was right because she increased her smoking, decreased her eating, which unfortunately, as a former smoker, I know what smoking can do to you. Um, Tried it out hoping it would, it's kind of like following mom's footsteps almost. But then, because of my lung problems and whatnot, I went, I no, I prefer to breathe. So, um, oh yeah, I know she loves me. I mean, there's no questioning how much she loves me. But then after Yellowstone, I didn't really have a girlfriend until I met Jerry. Oh yeah, I mean, I saw a T-shirt once, and this was a Nordic Viking style T-shirt, and it was basically said, "You want to mess with my woman? Go ahead. She's a shield maiden. She'll take your head off." Um, the other one was, "If you want to feel safe at night, sleep with a shield maiden." Um, so yeah, there's a couple nice ones out there. Um, Granted, Drayan doesn't have much. I don't think she has any Nordic background in her DNA, but even that Irish, Sicilian, not Sicilian, Grecian bloodline, just the Irish alone is like, do you really want to mess with this woman? Um, but yeah. Um, so it's one of those like I would love to see Diane try to go toe to toe with Jerry. I mean, Sunday Jerry basically blasted her out of the water. Um, but we're not going to talk about that. That's old news. Um, the thing is like I might look skinny. I do have a little bit of a belly, and I didn't have one until I met Jerry and started eating a lot of Italian food, which means a lot of pasta. Um, so it's like I, you know, as my father used to say, hey, at least it's paid for. Um, I used to be made fun that I was thin. Now people want to try to make fun of me that I'm overweight, not like extremely overweight, but that they're complaining about my stomach being extended, and I'm like, yeah, that's called good eating. It's not bloating. It's not well, I mean, I don't know if men do water retention, but it's because I ate good while I was in New York. Um, yes, you did, Marguerite. That's probably why I haven't seen a lot of videos about Sunday from anybody but you know, no, most unwanted number one. Um, so, sorry, that was a slight Harry Potter reference. But the thing is when we said our vows in front of family and friends and the pulpit and Jesus in a church, I take those for granted. Not granted. I take those hardcore. I mean, I will be with her until she passes. God forbid, but I will be with her until the end, no matter what. I mean, yeah, there are times where she tries to give me an out because she feels she's being a burden or whatever, and I'm like, no, no, I'm not walking through the door. If I go through the door, it's just to go cool off, but I will come back. Because I'm not that type of person. I have seen so many families wrecked and destroyed because of a divorce. And that's probably just about as bad as just a simple separation. Because mommy and daddy are no longer with each other, no longer sleeping together, they're no longer taking care of the kids together. It's two separate households, and I don't believe in that. You know, that's why I'm having a hard time letting mom move out. Oh yeah, there's been plenty of times I was happier and whatnot, and the shaving, the beard, and the long hair has nothing to do with my happiness. That has to do with my heritage. Um, so I mean, thank you, Stacy. Besides Slay, I don't really. I mean, happiness it it can come from so many different directions. Doesn't all have to be Jerry Ann trying to make me happy. I have to make myself happy to be happy. And right now, with all the stress and all the things going on, it's kind of hard for me to be happy. So it has nothing to do with Jerry. And yeah, there are a lot of my followers saying that I looked happier with, happier and healthier when I had shorter, I shaved clean and short hair. Well, I'm sorry, that's not me. You know, I'm, oh no, I didn't take it as negative. I'm just pointing out the truth of the matter. Happiness comes from within. And when you have full happiness from within, everything can make me happy. But because of, like I said, all the stress and all the things going on, I'm having a hard time finding my happiness. But I am going to have to get off because I have people waiting for me in Azeroth, aka WoW, to do some stuff. I do appreciate everybody's comment and what you're saying. So I'm, like I said, I don't need any of the stuff from Diane. That's why I don't go looking at it. I get enough information from people I trust, and yeah, I tonight's little chat was not going to be in that direction, but it turned that way because I saw one or two people who are Diane's butt buddies, and I really don't care. But I'm going to be taking off, so I will see you guys Saturday. If not Saturday, definitely Sunday. So until then, you guys enjoy your upcoming weekend and enjoy. Bye.